Hey everyone, I'm Kiki.
And I'm Lou, and this is Unmuted, where we talk about what's working in media and what's making noise.
And what's really making noise right now? Sports. The NFL season is kicking off, MLB is heating up towards the playoffs, NCAA football and the NBA season are just around the corner. It's one of the most electric times on the sports calendar. Tons of hype, passion, and fan engagement.
That's right, Kiki. It's such an exciting time of year. Sports fans are dialed in radio, TV, online video, audio streaming, podcasts, socials, you name it. It's a dream moment for advertisers to show up with energy and relevance. And to break it all down, we've got Sam Pines, Senior Vice President at Good Karma Brands, with us. Sam, welcome to Unmuted.
Thanks. Excited to be here and excited for everything going on.
Well, we're really happy to have you on. All right, so let's start there. What's new and exciting at Good Karma Brands as we head into this packed sports season?
Yeah, so for us, we look at sports as 365. And this time of year gets even more exciting because, as you said, during this season, you have MLB, coming down to the playoffs in the pennant. You have WNBA playoffs. You have NFL and college football starting. 6 weeks later, you get the NBA and NHL. And for us, probably as exciting as everything is Rich Eisen is coming back to ESPN. Rich was part of ESPN many years ago, and then became the first voice of the NFL Network. Starting September 2nd, he'll be coming back to the ESPN radio and podcast network, everything around the Rich Eisen show with it. And for us, it's even more exciting because Good Karma Brands will be the company that's representing him across all the platforms it's on, including ESPN Plus and Disney Plus. And it's the first time the Rich Eisen show is going to be represented by one company, which gives brands the opportunity to integrate throughout it all. And I would be remiss if I wasn't mentioning some of our local markets. Sorry, as I keep going here, but the play-by-play and the live sports. The Milwaukee Brewers are right now the hottest team in baseball. And you get free hamburgers right now from George Webb because they won 12 in a row. A great promotion if you don't know about it. Take a look online. But after 12 wins in a row, everyone's having fun with it.
Lots of excitement out there. Sam, let's talk activation. With all this fan excitement across leagues, what are some of the most powerful ways that you're seeing brands engage?
Yeah, for us, it's the most powerful ways and the most successful ways, I guess I would call it, is when it's across all platforms, and all platforms includes being in person, right? We have opportunities to be in person, and we saw recently when we took over the ESPN radio network, we started to have, we went back on the road, right? Because it was kind of coming out of COVID. Some of that ended. You didn't see it as much. So we have an Airstream that goes out to college football games every Saturday. It's kind of the radio side or the audio side of the ESPN College Game Day. And we saw a well-known energy brand that partnered with us on it, do a brand lift study where they saw significant increases in awareness, purchase intent, and other things. So when you see that with an established brand, you know that those types of things can make a difference.
So those are exactly the types of activations we love to dive into at Direct Results. But also, let's not forget those trusted voices, right? Your sportscasters and sports talk personalities. When they endorse a brand, right, it's hearing a recommendation from a friend. And I know Good Karma Brands has their very own Sylvie at WMVP ESPN Chicago, who has been absolutely standout for several of our clients. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Sylvie's great. For us, a lot of what we've been built on over the years is that, and I know Direct Results too, has built brands on the back of what we now call influencers. Radio hosts were the original influencers. And for us, it's always been, these are our fans' friends, right? They're saying, hey, try this. It's your friend saying, hey, why don't you try this? And people trust it, and they'll change behaviors based on it. So for us, we've seen it in our smallest of markets like Beaver Dam and our biggest of markets like LA and New York. So whether it's bee pollen, windows, cars, personal injury attorneys, or public adjusters. I mean, it's amazing the storytelling that the talent can do. and then, with the right messaging and the right things around it, which are what important agencies like yours are able to do, that's what can make it successful.
And podcasts are increasingly part of that playbook too, right?
Yes, absolutely. We look at ourselves as a distribution company, right? And anytime fans can consume us anytime, anywhere now, right? It used to be like if you weren't within this, like where the waves got to, or if you went under some viaduct or something, you might lose us. And if you didn't listen at the time, you weren't going to get it. Now you have both. Every show can be consumed on demand. And then you have specific shows, specific content that's just podcasts. And, it's become more and more those hosts and that connection to fans is the same, right? There's no difference because as fans, I don't know when I'm listening to something, oh, wait, am I listening to an hour later or now? Like so much of the content in being engaged, you're not worried about when it was. So podcasts have been a great part of that. And we've seen in different places, there's still that same crazy connection that the content host and their fans have.
Yeah, I mean, that connection's really the impact, right, with your partners. I would say also, what about community impact? What is Good Karma Brands doing to help advertisers show up locally?
Yeah, so for us, it's always been about our fans, partners, and teammates. We've tried to keep all of our focus on our fans, partners, and teammates. And if you think of where those three intersect, especially in local communities, or in local, it's really around community and getting behind causes. When I was figuring out what shirt to wear, and this popped up. So you mentioned Sylvie. So this is still Sylvie Strong, a quick story. Mark Silverman, our host on ESPN 1000 in Chicago, uh, during the pandemic, was diagnosed with cancer, and went public, and was amazingly brave and talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
and we rolled out these shirts. This one his son actually made,
I love
and so I and this is during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We did these shirts, and our fans bought them, our teammates bought them, and our partners supported it. And I'll get the numbers wrong, but I think it was $40,000 or $50,000 that we raised. And again, and that's $40,000 or $50,000 when the world is in what we were in at that point. And so that's pretty cool. And even in our smallest markets, from day one, it's been who we are. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, where we started. We do a children's radiothon every year, and we've now raised over $3 million for local charities there. So it's something that we believe in, and it's when you see the results, when you see the different things happen, it's great. And when you raise money for great causes and have fun doing it.
Sam, that's amazing to hear, and like what a heartwarming story. It just goes to show how being part of the culture is just so key, and how integrating with communities and the influence of personalities like Sylvie having on their communities does so much to drive an impact. Um, so, being a part of that culture, when brands pull that through with omni-channel support like radio streaming, digital, social, it really is next level.
Yeah, I agree. And we all meet fans in the moment, right? And not and the fundamentals haven't changed. If you say the right thing, give the right message, you use the right messenger, you do it enough times in the business, we call that frequency, and you do it to the right audience, you're going to have successful campaigns. The only thing that's changed that adds a level of difficulty but adds an opportunity is there's more distribution, right? There's more places you can distribute it. To have agencies and expertise that can help brands, usher brands through it, I think is so important.
So true. I mean, the best campaigns, they show up everywhere. It's in the car, on the couch, on the phone. You always feel connected in that game day energy. But as we wrap up, what would you say your best advice for brands wanting to get in the game for this season would be?
Yeah, so um, the choices are endless, right? There's millions of podcasts at this point, and that's podcasts alone. So first, I would make sure the brand truly understands their objectives,
Mm-hmm.
right? And isn't just thinking about the last click, we'll call it, right? Like they understand the whole funnel, and then they work with whether it's marketing consultants, agencies, to make sure their objectives are kept throughout. And then I would remind everyone that 91% of people in the U.S. are sports fans, and it's pretty hard to get 91% agreement of anything in the U.S. So, I think sports are a great place to break through the clutter and, and find that right message and messenger to give frequency to whatever your objective is.
Love it. Big thank you to you, Sam, for joining us today. And a huge shout out to really the whole all-star team at Good Karma Brands. That's you, Sam, CJ Carter, Matt Burke. Always a big win partnering with you all.
Thank you. And the same to Direct Results.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. And that's it for this episode today, guys. For all of you listening, this season is going to be wild when it comes to sport, but let's make the most of it. If you have an idea or a campaign you want to bring to life, give us a call.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and as always,
stay unmuted.